Feast or famine, the choice is yours. Hey guys, it's Jara with Wicked Prepared. Welcome to the channel. How's everybody doing and what has everybody been doing besides stocking your shelves? We've been getting our garden started, getting a lot of seedlings going. Let me know down in the comments, do you have a garden? What are you growing this year? This is going to become so important, guys, to be able to provide some of our own food. We are headed into a worldwide famine. The writing is on the wall, folks. This goes beyond just food shortages and supply chain issues. I think a lot of countries are going to see it worse than we are here in the United States, unfortunately, but I definitely believe that we are going to see some conditions like we've never seen before, at least not in any of our lifetimes. It's up to each and every one of us to make sure that we are prepared. Is your family going to eat or is your family going to starve? It's all up to you. You can't rely on anyone else to take care of your family. Not the government, not your church, not your neighbor, the prepper. We're all preppers now. So that's what we've been up to, just like always, plugging along, trying to stock it to the rafters and fill in the gaps in our preps. So come along and I'll show you what we've added to our preps this week. So here's just an overview of everything that we got this week. So I'm going to go ahead and start with this load of stuff over here. This I picked up from Save-A-Lot. Started with these two big bottles of seasonings, this Sazon and Adobo. Now we use quite a bit of these, especially this one. And these are pretty big bottles and I don't think they're more than $2, maybe $3 at the most. So I try to keep well stocked on these. I have a box of seasonings like this down cellar. And then I found these bags of noodles. It says vermicelli. It's basically like fideos, but it's they're only 7-ounce bags, but these were only 34 cents. So number one, I think this is probably one of the cheapest pastas that you could get. And number two, because they're so small, they'll cook very quickly. And I think they would go great in like some meals in a jar. So I wanted to pick up some of these because I've never found these in our area before. And then, dun, 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 I found these giant tubs of marshmallow fluff. I was so excited. This was the most exciting thing probably that I've found in a long time. These tubs are huge. I mean, this is the normal size jar that we usually buy, which is already a pretty big jar. And these are 72 ounces. These are giant buckets of fluff. We are going to have fluffernutters for days. I was so excited to find these. So that was all that I got from Save-A-Lot. So the next load of stuff was from the Asian market. Now, if you remember, I went to a different Asian market last time that I'd never been to before. Someone had tipped me off about the butane canisters at the Asian market. So we happened to be down in a town that we don't get to very often. The closest Asian market that I have to me is an hour away, which is kind of a bummer. One of the things that I usually get, the biggest thing that I usually get at the Asian market is these coconut milks. I love these. I use these a lot. And usually the Asian market is a really cheap place to get them. You could get cheaper coconut milk because they sell it at Dollar Tree. But this is just such better quality than the ones at Dollar Tree. And it used to be really cheap. So when I went to the other Asian market and I found it was $2 a can, I only grabbed a few because this was the last can that I bought at my usual Asian market, Hong Kong market. It was $1.55 last time I bought them. I don't get down there that often, so I'll usually buy, a dozen and a half cans. Well, they were $2 at the other Asian market, so I only bought a few. I was hoping that my store hadn't had to raise their price that much. They were $2.25. I was so heartbroken. So I guess I only got 4 of them because I had picked up a few at the other market. And then I did get a couple other brands just because I've done this before. Every time I'm down there, I pick up a couple other brands that are cheaper just to try them and see if they're maybe just as good, and they aren't. So I'm not really sure why I did that again, but I'll keep trying them. But they've all gone up in price, which is understandable. I mean, they obviously have to import these from Asia, and I'm sure it's not cheap, and I'm sure their prices are going up, but I was pretty bummed about this. But the butane, though, this 4-pack was $7.99 at this market, at the market I usually go to. So this was actually a little bit cheaper than the other Asian market that I went to last time. So I was pretty happy about this. I couldn't find these in the store, and I had to ask the boy running the cash register, and then he had to run to the back corner of the store, and he just brought me 1 pack. So if I had found them myself, I probably would have grabbed more, but I wasn't going to send him back. And there were people waiting behind me. And then one of the other things that I always grab at the Asian market is fish sauce. So I got these. There must be a huge difference in quality of fish sauce because there was a huge variety of prices, but these were pretty cheap. And this is the brand that I've gotten before. These were, I think, around $2, and this is a pretty big 23 ounces. And I got a couple of these. because that will last a really long time. And next I got a couple cans of various curry paste. They have so many different flavors of these, and I have a bunch of them already in the pantry. These are a couple that I don't think I have. I haven't tried before. They're only, well, $1.99. That, or no, $1.39. That price has gone up. All the prices have gone up. But I also found this lemongrass powder, which I was looking on Amazon for some lemongrass powder, and they all got terrible reviews saying they didn't have very much flavor, and they were all more expensive than this. So when I saw this there, I figured I'd grab it. It would be worth trying. It was only $2.45, and I actually did open it up and try it, and it does have some flavor. I guess it's just a hard thing to translate into a powder, but I wanted that lemongrass flavor if I make certain Thai meals in a jar where I would need to have a dry version. So next I got this giant can of oyster sauce. This is 5 pounds of oyster sauce, and this can was only $8.99, I think it says, which is an amazing deal. I usually get my oyster sauce on Amazon because we go through quite a bit of this. This is the jug that we've had that I got from Amazon, and I knew it was getting low. So when I saw that, I knew I should grab it. But I refill this little bottle from the big bottle, and we keep this in the pantry. So when I open this up, I'll probably either put it into mason jars, or I might just wash this out and refill this because this has been working pretty well. And then this just sits right in my pantry. This doesn't even go in the fridge. I do not have room for all of these condiments in my fridge. So honestly, somebody asked me about recanning soy sauce because they got a big jug of soy sauce. I don't even refrigerate any of this stuff, and we do go through it pretty quickly, but it's always been fine. But what we use this for mostly, well, I have recipes that use it, but I have a couple of kids that love to make ramen, and then instead of using the seasoning packet, they use oyster sauce and sesame oil. And they go through quite a bit of that. A little bit less now that I started putting it into this bottle instead of just letting them pour out of here. It's a lot easier for them to control, but we do go through a lot of this. So I was really excited to find this big can. And next, this is a few things from Walmart. Now this right here was, I don't know if I got lucky or not. This was from my online grocery order, and I had ordered, I think, a dozen of their brand of Alfredo, which is really inexpensive. I think it was like $1.50, and my daughter loves this. I know that Dollar Tree sells, I think it's the Prego brand in cans, in aluminum cans. And I tried those because I thought that would be a lot easier to store and a good price, but she did not like the flavor of that one. And she's the biggest eater of the Alfredo in our house. So I ordered 12 of these, and they only had, I guess, 9 in stock. So they substituted some ragu. And I usually am really excited when I get the more expensive name brand substituted in for the store brand that I usually get. But depending on if my daughter likes this or not, we'll see how lucky of a substitution this was. And then I grabbed a couple boxes of the Hungry Jack family size au gratin potato mix. I'm putting together some new sort of emergency meal kits that I do in the bags. This is one that I just put together the other day. This has got everything in this bag is everything you need to make a really delicious chicken and dumplings, with a little recipe card. Now, I'll have a video up on this really soon, and I'll try to put a little card up for that in the corner of the screen when that comes out. But I have a plan for these Hungry Jack. I think I can do a pretty good emergency meal kit with these. Now on to some things over here that are mostly from Amazon. This Bangkok peanut sauce, I love this stuff. I've been eating this peanut sauce for so many years. It's my favorite peanut sauce. You may have noticed I kind of have a thing for Thai food, but you can do so much with this. You can just throw this on some noodles, even just some spaghetti noodles. You can put chicken and vegetables in it if you want, have it hot or cold. It's just delicious. I do all sorts of things with this. I'll do a wrap with just some coleslaw mix and some of this peanut sauce mixed with some mayonnaise and some chicken in it, and it makes a delicious wrap. So I grabbed a few of these because I don't know if I even have any of this left in the pantry, which is a terrible tragedy. And then I got a bunch of these moon cheese. These are a really great snack, and they're a good low-carb snack. I actually got these first because I used to love Thrive Life's cheddar cheese, freeze-dried cheddar cheese bites, which were little cubes. And unfortunately, they discontinued those, and I was so heartbroken. And then I found these, and I don't know if they're actually freeze-dried, and they do have 2 grams of carbs, so they're a little bit higher in carbs. But they're a really good snack, and I think these would be great in a bug-out bag because this is really, really light, but they're calorically dense because they're cheese, so they've got a lot of fat, and they've got a lot of calories, and they've got some protein. So I think this would be great in a bug-out bag because when you're packing snacks in your bug-out bag, you want to pack like you would pack hiking snacks. So you want to think calorically dense so you can have the most calories with the least amount of weight. But I keep these in my car. I keep these everywhere. And actually, I had a bag in my car. These have a little Ziploc where you can reclose the bag. And I had some that I was eating a few months ago, and they must have fallen down between the seats or something because I totally forgot about them. And then just the other day, they resurfaced down on the floor. So I opened them up and tried them, and it had been probably at least a couple months, and they still were fine. So I'm pretty confident about the shelf life and the portability of these. I think these are really great. So I got a bunch more. This is the bacon cheddar flavor, but they have a lot of different flavors. And next I've got some random medical stuff. Now this, I was pretty excited to find this, and I got this on my subscribe and save. This is, I'll try to put a picture up so you can really see, because this doesn't really show very well what it is, but this is Celox granules, which is a blood clotting agent, and I have some of this. It's a powder. I have packets of it in my trauma med kit, but this I found is actually a it's an applicator, plunger applicator. So for like really deep wounds, like a gunshot wound or a puncture, like a stab wound, you can actually push the plunger deep down inside the wound and apply the Celox granules right to the inside of the wound, which I thought was really awesome. I'd never seen this before. And Celox is really good because, number one, it can be used on people who take blood thinners, and it's also can be used in really cold conditions, which not all of them can. So I was super excited to find this. And then, of course, just some more different potassium iodide pills. I got another ThyroSafe, 3 of these Iosat. These have been difficult to find, but if you try, you can usually find some. I've got these. These all are expiring in 2030, which I think is pretty typical. I think about 8 years is about the shelf life from when they're new. So these are a good supply. You're kind of worried about when things are short and you're finding them online, you don't know what you're getting, but these seem to be pretty legit and have a really good expiration date on them. Because like I said, I'm going to be trying to put together some emergency kits for like my older children that are specifically geared towards a nuclear emergency. So I wanted to get some more of this kind of stuff. And then this here, this is a Rad Triage. It's just a little card, which it's very, very thin. It's paper thin. It can just go right in your wallet, carry it with you, whatever. And it's basically a dosimeter, a personal dosimeter, and it just kind of reads the total amount of radiation you've been exposed to over time. And so once it darkens, it's a one-time use thing, but you can use it. It's got a shelf life of about 2 years, unless you get, exposed to that much radiation in that amount of time. You can use it if you wrap it up and put it in the freezer. I believe it said it could last up to 10 years, but the whole point is to carry it with you so that if you've been exposed to a too high dose of radiation. So that's another thing that can go in those kits when I get those put together. And this, I don't even know what happened here, honestly. This was a subscribe and save item. I thought they were out of it. I thought it got canceled off my order. And I was fine with that because we have plenty. And then my box showed up and there were actually 2 of them in it. So I have no idea what happened. But I guess you can never have too much potassium iodide. This is a smaller dosage. So this would be handy for younger people who need the smaller dosage. And then you probably wonder why you always see this in my haul, my Amazon haul. This is, the reason I get this so often is because this is under $2. This is only $1 something. And it's little individual packets of hydrocortisone cream. And we do use these. There's only 12 in this package. I know it's not the most economical way to purchase something like this, but I only use this in our very small first aid kits where I don't have room for a whole tube of it. Like most of our first aid kits have tubes of this type of cream, but I have kits in my purse. The kids have kits in their backpacks. We've got kits in our bug out bags and our hiking bag. And we don't have room for a whole tube of something like this in there. So that's what I use these for. But with subscribe and save on Amazon, you need to have 5 items in each delivery to get the highest level of discount. And of course, I always want to get the highest level of discount. So this is like the cheapest item that I pretty much have on my subscribe and save. So I'll throw it in a delivery if I need an extra item to get to 5, just because I know that there's only 12 in here. I know that we'll use them. And it's less than $2, but it gets me up to that second level of discount. Now this Tech New, this is amazing stuff. I've been using this for a long time. We have a lot of poison ivy on our property and around our property and all the places that we walk our dogs. And my son gets into poison ivy all the time. I've tried to show him what it looks like so he can avoid it, but it's kind of a lost cause. But this is amazing. If you actually wash with this stuff before you break out in the rash, if you know you've been exposed to poison ivy or poison oak or whatever you have in your area, this will wash the oils off so that you don't break out in the rash. So this is pretty amazing, but it can also help alleviate it a little bit if you have already broken out in the rash. But it's really best. I like to have it as a preventative. And I have this in all sorts of forms. This is a scrub. They have one that doesn't have a scrub. They do have individual packets of this, which we do have, that we keep in those same first aid kits. I know that packets aren't the most economical way to buy things, but honestly, we do have kits where we don't have room for a whole tube of everything. So to be able to have one little packet of something or two little packets so that we have it with us is worth the extra cost to me. But this is the best stuff. I've been using this for a very long time, and I always have to have this around the house because we do have a lot of poison ivy around here. Now this bottle, I was really, really excited. This is a water bottle with a built-in filter. This brand, Seychelles, I just discovered this brand because I've been doing some research on, filtering water after radiological emergency. And this is one of the only brands that I found that has radiological filters. Now this is a personal water bottle. So I bought this to try, and this filters out radiological contaminants, and it filters out a whole bunch of stuff. I'll put something up on the screen that shows you everything that this filters out. Now, this company has all sorts of products. They have a little individual straw size one, kind of like a life straw. They have family size pitchers that you can get radiological filters for. They also have filters that just make your water more alkaline, because that's supposed to be really good for your health. I really haven't gotten into that very much, but I was really, really excited to find this, and I think this is going to take up residence in my bug out bag. I don't know. I don't think it's going to replace my life straw, just because there's plenty of situations where you wouldn't need to filter radiological contaminants, so I wouldn't want to waste it if I didn't need it. But at the same time, this would be really great to have if you did need it. So I was really excited to find this company. And this right here, I did just get another one of those Yuko individual candle lanterns. I got one, a few weeks back, maybe a month ago. I grabbed one on sale, and I was going to keep it in my vehicle emergency kit. So we figured we'd get another one for the other vehicle. This is just a kit that comes with extra candles. It comes with 3 candles, a carrying bag, and the little lantern. These are great because they do allow you to use a candle, which can be good because it can provide a little bit of heat. They do have a 3 candle version with a bigger plate up here, and you can actually set food or water up there to warm. But it can help burn away moisture if you're inside of, say, your vehicle, burn away condensation by burning an actual candle. But this sort of keeps the candle protected, so you don't worry as much about setting things on fire. And like I said, it does put out a small amount of heat. So I like this brand. I like these candle lanterns. So I grabbed another individual size. Now here, I did grab a whole case of the Chicken a la King. This is from Amazon. This used to be a really great deal when it was at Dollar Tree for $1. But once Dollar Tree raised the prices up, you're going to get a case for $15 now at Dollar Tree. And this case on Amazon was a little bit less than that. Not a whole lot, but it was a little bit less, and it came all wrapped together in a case, and it came right to my doorstep. So I didn't have to go out to Dollar Tree. So I thought this was pretty awesome way to get this. And now this box here, this Recipe Secrets, I'm not going to open this up because this is just extra. I don't need it right now, but I'll show you what's inside of it. This is the onion mushroom. Now I usually buy the herb and garlic one. I obsessively buy the herb and garlic one. I have at least 3 extra cases of this. I'm so afraid of not being able to find that flavor. But this one, I honestly can't even remember what I was thinking of when I grabbed it, but I'm getting low. This is what I had in my surplus room. I do have a few more boxes like this, and I just put some of this the other night. We had some meatballs in the freezer, and so I threw the meatballs in the crock pot with a couple cans of, cream of this and that soup. I think I used cream of mushroom and cream of onion, and then I put in a packet of this and let that cook all day. And then at the end, I stirred in some sour cream, and we had that over rice. It was really good. These have all the different flavors, have all sorts of recipes on the back. And I use these for all sorts of things. So I grabbed a case of the onion mushroom because I was almost out of that. Now these Munch bars, these are peanut bars. This is a 36 pack. My daughter came home from school the other day with a wrapper from this, and she said her friend gave her one of these, and it was the best granola bar ever. And I had to kind of laugh. I said, honey, I don't think that's a granola bar. I think it's more of a candy bar. But she wanted some, and I could not find them in the stores around here. And so I ordered a case because I figured these are, it says they're low glycemic index, which surprises me because they do have a lot of sugar, but they've got peanuts in them, so they've got to have some goodness, some protein, and I thought this would be a really good, once again, it's a calorically dense snack, so these would be great for bug out bags. They're also great for her to take to school and take when she goes to the farm to work. So, and then it's funny because I had looked at our Walmart and they didn't have them, and then I found these in the clearance aisle just the other day. They must have gotten a shipment in and they don't have a place for them in the store because they don't normally carry them. And even on clearance at Walmart, I did the math and it's cheaper to buy this case at Amazon. So, and then over here is some Walmart clearance items that I found. And let's see, I found this little blister treatment pack, and this is pretty cool. It was marked down from $10, I think that says. $9.97 down to $2.49, which I thought was a good deal. And inside, it's in its own little plastic case, which I thought was awesome. And we always keep blister treatments in, you know, the kids have them in their little first aid kits that they take when they go hiking. And I always try to have something like that with me when we go hiking. We've got that in our bug out bags. If you get blisters when you're walking or hiking, that's bad news. So we always have blister treatment stuff. So I was excited to find this. These stevia liquid Splenda brand, I usually buy the Walmart brand of these because I do use these. And I checked the price and these were cheaper on clearance than the Walmart brand. So I grabbed a few of these. And then this stuff here, this is dog shampoo and conditioner. And this I actually do use. I use this all the time. And so I'm sad to see that they're probably not going to carry it anymore, but it was a good deal. So I did grab the 2 bottles that I found because we use this all the time. And this is just another dog shampoo that I've never seen or used before, but $1.81. I mean, we do use dog shampoo, so I figured we would get some use out of this for that price. And then I grabbed 2 of these big jugs of white vinegar. I just used up 1 jug and I'm trying to build our supply up. We do have several of these jugs down cellar, but I got 2 more. I didn't used to use a ton of white vinegar in my cooking because I mostly use apple cider vinegar in my cooking. I use this in a few things, but once I started using this in my laundry, that was when I started going through it a lot more. I don't use it in every load, but I use it in things that might be smelly or whatever. And of course, if you're going to be canning, like pickling, you're going to use a lot of white vinegar. And that's something that's a good food preservation method. So you want to have a lot of vinegar to be able to help with food preservation in an emergency. It also can be used for cleaning. It disinfects. It does all sorts of things. This is one of those really great multi-purpose items that you should really have in your prepper pantry. And then after that, I just got stocked up on a few more paper goods. This is a constant for us because we've actually been using them quite a bit lately. I'm just trying to keep caught up on dishes. So we're going through these and I like to have a good supply of them stocked up in advance in case we do have an emergency and we're not able to wash dishes easily. So I got, this is 1 pack from BJ's actually. This isn't from Walmart. I just stuck it over here because it was the only thing from BJ's and I had paper plates from Walmart. But like I said, I've been comparing my prices at all the different stores because with as much as the prices are changing and as quickly as the prices are going up, sometimes it's not a better deal at the same place that I used to get a better deal. Sometimes I need to switch the store if I'm looking for the best price. So this was the best price on these large paper bowls. We buy the large and the smaller paper bowls. And then this is 2 packs, 2 of the 150 packs of the largest plates that we buy at Walmart. All right, guys, so that was everything that we've added to our prepper pantry and to our preps this week. It definitely wasn't our biggest haul ever, and it was kind of a random assortment of things, but that's just how we do things around here. And I know a lot of people will sometimes say, well, we can't afford to buy that much at once. And you don't have to buy that much at once. You can just do whatever you can afford, even if it's a little bit at a time. But the thing to remember is that because I've been doing this a long time, and because this is always the way that I shop, and I have a really well-stocked pantry, it allows me to shop a little bit differently and buy in bulk and get some better deals. Because in any given week, when I plan my meals out for the week, there's very little shopping that I actually have to do at the grocery store because I'm shopping out of my pantry a lot. Any of our canned goods, any of our shelf-stable items we have already. And I'm really just buying fresh things, milk and salads and things like that. So just take your time and build your prepper pantry at your own pace, and eventually you'll get to this point. So let me know down in the comments what was the most interesting thing that you saw in my haul today, and what was the most interesting thing that you've added to your preps lately. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, leave me a water drop emoji down in the comments to let me know you watched the whole thing. I appreciate it so much. It really helps out our channel when you watch our video all the way through to the end. I'm Jara with Wicked Prepared. Survive today, thrive tomorrow. We'll see you next time.